It's another week in Portland State women's basketball. We're here with head coach Lynn Kennedy. Coach, coming off first win of the season against Pacific Union, scored 93 points in the win. Talk about what you can pull out from that game.
Well, I think anytime we can get out and play somebody different, that helps our young team. It was nice to see the start of both halves. The 19-2 run to start the first half, and then I think it was a 17-2 run to start the second half. That's always nice to see in a game like that you can have that intensity, that you can play hard. We got to continue to be consistent. I think that's one of the things we worked on this morning. It's just our consistency, staying intense throughout the entire quarter, and being ready for the start of the next quarter as well and the finish. So a lot to pull from that game. I think that we need to continue to get better going into our Seattle U game, but a lot of good things also to take away from that game.
Portland State hits the road again this week, heads up to Seattle, Washington to take on the Seattle Redhawks. Coach, Seattle played Boise State last night, a team you've already seen this year. Talk about what you saw in that game and what we can expect to see out of the Redhawks.
Well, the Redhawks they're a good team. They lost a couple players due to the coaching change, but they play hard, they play aggressive, they're a very athletic team. They can get to the basket. They got two of the better players we've seen so far this year in Best and Montgomery. So they have the ability to get to the basket, knock down open shots. But the thing that we're taking away in our scout is just how hard and how aggressive they play, both offensively and defensively. So it's going to be a challenge for us, getting up and down the court, keeping our tempo, keeping our speed on the offensive end, and then being aggressive on defense and blocking out. So if we can do those things, we got a chance to be competitive. But as we saw in the Boise State game, I think they were up 14, 16 points at one time, lost in overtime, so they're a very good team. They've been competing the last couple weeks, and so it'll be a tough assignment for us going into Wednesday night.
Portland State has had several players excel on the offensive side this year. Sydney Riley is leading the team with over 20 points per game this year. Talk about what you've seen from her over the first 3 games of the year.
Well, I think just the ability to play hard all the time. I think that's one thing we talked about, that consistency we've been talking with everybody about, but for her, it's just playing hard all the time. She's going to get open shots just because of the nature of our players and the skill sets that we have, the ability to get into the lane and create open shots on the backside. So I think for her, it's just to play that consistent, just work hard all times, hard cuts. If she's getting a screen, to come off extremely hard. And then to pick it up defensively too. I think that's one area that she worked on this offseason where she's improved is on the defensive side. But I've liked, in our offensive sets, we could have 5, 6 in double figures. As we saw yesterday, we had several that were close. So people are going to have the opportunity to score. It's just taking those opportunities and making the most of it.
Earlier last week, the Vikings signed a pair of national letters of intent for the 2016-17 academic year. Coach, talk to me about the 2 players that you signed for next year's class.
Yeah, so Kylie, I think is one of the best shooters we've seen, throughout the last couple summers. When she really, during the Oregon City tournament 2 summers ago, she really stood out to us, and her ability in the open court to knock down shots, which that's a tough thing to do. Not a lot of high school players can do that, where they have that transition fast break mentality and can hit shots in the open court, and she was able to do that. She went to the top of our list. So it's been a process with her, the last couple of years, recruiting her, but great kid, great family. She's got the ability to come in and score right away, not only in the fast break, but in the half court, and she can get to the basket as well. Labria, one of the most dynamic players we've seen the last couple seasons in the summer circuit. She's probably the quickest player that we would be able to get here at Portland State. Just her tempo, getting up and down in a fast break. She can knock down threes. She can get to the basket. She's got that ability as a point guard to see the backside read, where a lot of the players that either we play against or we have on our team, sometimes that's something you have to learn throughout the couple years that you're here working through the system. And she's got that ability to come in right away and do that and see the defensive shift and understand what we're trying to get in our sets. So we're extremely excited about both. If the thing about both of them is they're great student athletes. They excel in the classroom as well, and they're great people. So we're excited that they're going to be part of our family and can't wait for them to get here.
Exciting times here at Portland State with a couple of letters of intent signing last week and the Vikings' first win over Pacific Union. Portland State heads to Seattle to take on the Seattle University Redhawks this Wednesday at 7 o'clock. For more information, visit govikes.com.